3 weeks. That's how long it took for me to realize the money wasn't the weirdest part of this job. They told me she was reserved, tired, but no one mentioned the way she flinched at loud noises, or how she apologized for existing, or the fact that she'd been handled before. If you've ever felt invisible, even in a room full of people, stay with me. Because by the end of this story, you'll understand what it's like to be loved by someone who was paid to care. But before we continue with this story, please like and subscribe. Also comment where you are watching us from, or you can drop your country flag in the comment for a special shout out in the next video. Thanks. It started with small things: a beach, a cafe, a bookstore, places where no one expected her to be perfect. The first place we went was the beach. Not the private kind, just a public stretch of sand where people laughed too loud and kids built sand castles. Kala stepping out of the black sedan, still in her light gray blouse and white pants, looking at the sand like it might bite her. "I don't have a swimsuit," she said softly. "Neither do I. We're not swimming." I kick off my shoes and roll up my jeans. Kala hesitates, then slowly removes her sandals, holding them in one hand like they might run away. She walked like she was afraid of leaving footprints, like if she pressed too hard, the sand would remember her. "You come here a lot?" I asked. "No," she replied. That was the first time I noticed it. The way she answered questions like she was solving a math problem, like every word had to be exactly right. "You want to sit?" We sat on a large rock near the water. Kala perches on the edge like she's afraid to take up space. I lean back, relaxed. "And so, what do you like to do? For fun?" "I don't know." She said it like she'd never been asked before. I pull out my phone, tap the screen, and hold it out to Kala. "Here, pick a song." "I don't." "Just one, any one." Kala's finger hovers over the screen. She finally taps a song, something soft, instrumental. I smiled. It was the first time I saw her make a choice without permission. The next week we went to a cafe. Not a fancy one, a little place with mismatched chairs and a barista who knew everyone's name. I ordered 2 hot chocolates. Kala stares at the menu like it's written in another language. Kala softly tries, say something. I don't. "Reina hot chocolate. Trust me." They sit at a corner table. Kala wraps her hands around the mug but doesn't drink. I took a sip, then nudges the plate of cookies toward Kala. "My mom used to say sugar fixes everything. She's wrong, but it helps." "Your mom seems nice." She is. She's also stubborn, loud, and terrible at cooking. But she's mine. Kala's eyes flicker with something envy, sadness. She looks down at her mug. My mom isn't here anymore. I freeze. The cafe noise fades into the background. That was the first time she volunteered information, and the first time I realized how little I knew about her. The third week, we went to a bookstore. I thought she'd like the quiet, but quiet can be its own kind of loud when you're not used to it. I pick up a book with a ridiculous cover, a shirtless man holding a sword. I grin and hold it up to Kala. "Okay, I need to know what you think of this." "Is that a real book?" "Oh, it's real, and it's glorious." Kala's lips twitch. Then, "I don't think I've ever had a friend who tells stories like that," she said softly, almost to herself. My smile fades. I put the book down slowly. That night, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Kala. "Do you think people can start late and still be okay?" I didn't know what to say, so I just answered like it mattered. "Yeah, I do." The delivered checkmark appears. I stare at the screen for a long time. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just a job. It was a rescue mission. A few days later, Kala asked me to meet her at a park near her house. Not the mansion, the park. Like she was afraid of being overheard. Kala sits on a bench, hands folded in her lap. She doesn't look at me when she speaks. "There are rules. At home." "What kind of rules?" "Don't make noise. Don't take up space. Don't need anything." My breath catches. I sat down slowly beside Kala, leaving space between us. I wanted to ask who made the rules, but I already knew. My dad, he's not bad. He just doesn't know how to talk to me, so he hires people, tutors, drivers, companions, she said. Her voice is steady, but her hands are trembling. They never last. A few weeks maybe, then they leave. Why? Because I'm not fun, or interesting, or easy. I reach out slowly, then stop. I clench her fist instead. That was the first time I wanted to scream, not at her for her. Later that night, I asked Helena about the other companions. She hesitated. Then she told me the truth. There were others, 3, maybe 4. They didn't connect with Kala. What does that mean? What does that mean? Helena, one tried to get close to the family for favors. Another, she just stopped showing up. My face pale. I grip my phone tighter. I realized then that I wasn't the first, and I probably wouldn't be the last. But for the first time, I wondered if I should be. My phone buzz. A new text from Kala. Are you still there? I type back slowly. Yeah, I'm here. The read receipt appears. Kala's typing bubble pops up, then disappears. Then, Kala, good. I exhale, leaning back against my pillow. The screen glows in the dark. That was the moment I understood. She wasn't just lonely, she was waiting. I kept thinking about the money, about my mom's rent, about how easy it would be to just keep going. But every time I looked at Kala, I saw the same thing. A girl who was disappearing. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to choose between what's easy and what's right, where the money was good but the cost was someone else's pain? If this story is hitting close to home, if you've ever felt like you were just a job to someone, I want you to know something. You deserve more than that. Kala deserved more than a paid friend. And I was starting to think, maybe I did too. That's all for now. I will see you all in the part 3. I'll be sharing my thoughts about Kala's panic attack and how I almost quit being her friend, and my thoughts when she introduced me to her family members and her dad. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also turn on your notifications so you know when the part 3 drops. Bye for now.